Do these smell the same? Not exactly. They're different enough, but do they have the same vibe? Definitely. And if these two have the same vibe, then all these five have the same vibe. Hey, welcome to Auto YouTube. My name is Mark. So these five fragrances share a family resemblance, and if you're a collector, very likely you're gonna get all five. But if you're not a collector and you're just trying to choose which one among the five you want to get, which one should you get? This video is meant to assist you come up with a decision. I'm gonna spray all of these somewhere on my arms. Male Le Parfum, Prada L'Homme Intense, Bulgari Black, Prada Rossa Black, Zadig and Voltaire's Just Rock. So these five fragrances basically have a vanilla or coumarin slash tonka bean base, which means that it's kind of like sweet and slightly gourmandish. Almost traditionally, Bulgari Black and Prada Rossa Black, people have said that they smell exactly the same and it's redundant. Do I agree? They're not as similar as others have said. The main difference is that when we're talking about Bulgari Black, there's the rose and the jasmine assert themselves so much that when they do a side by side, they're actually very different because the floral character of Bulgari Black comes forward. If you're trying to decide if you should get both, yes, then I'm telling you that yes, they are different enough. It's not redundant to get this if you already have this, or because this is so hard to come by. It's been discontinued for a very long time. My bottle, in fact, is a 2013 bottle, brand new, but it's from 2013. And of course, what makes Bulgari Black distinctive is that it has what some people say is a note of rubber. Does it really smell like rubber? There is indeed a cord that might remind some of you of rubber. The closest reference I could find is remember back in the day, at least if you live in the Philippines when you were in grade school or whenever, we used to wrap our textbooks in plastic cover, and so you'd end up getting yards and yards of the stuff, and you know that it has a particular smell, that plastic smell. That's something that you could get from Bulgari Black. Nothing that intense, nothing that industrial smelling, but just a slight hint of that. That's the closest reference that I could find for the rubber note that they talk about when they talk about Bulgari Black. Do these smell the same? Not exactly. They're different enough, but do they have the same vibe? Definitely. And if these two have the same vibe, then all these five have the same vibe. So how would you decide? If what you're looking for is something that has a good longevity, then I would take these two out because it's these three that have good longevity. They do more than 8 hours. I applied them. I did what I did last night, and it's these three that persisted, that I could still smell when I woke up in the morning. So for longevity, it's Male Le Parfum, Prada L'Homme Intense, and Zadig and Voltaire's Just Rock. Now, if we rank the five according to sweetness, if you're looking for the sweetest version of that DNA, the sweetest would be Male Le Parfum by Jean-Paul Gaultier, and the least sweet, if you happen to be lucky enough to find a bottle of this discontinued thing, the least sweet is Bulgari Black. Prada L'Homme Intense closely follows Male Le Parfum, so in terms of sweetness. Now, if you want the woodiest one among the five, then go for Zadig and Voltaire's Just Rock. How about in terms of powderiness? If you don't like powdery, go for Zadig and Voltaire's Just Rock. It's the least powdery. Prada Rossa Black is also not very powdery. These two, in fact, aren't really powdery, but these three, especially after a time, you will get whiffs of a powdery note. How about most office friendly? If you're looking for something that is very office friendly, I would suggest Prada L'Homme Intense. This one is the one that smells clean. Do I have a favorite among the five? Yes, I do. And my favorite is Male Le Parfum. If you ask me, however, like which one is the best, I think that four of these fragrances could be called the best. There's just one that I'm not particularly fond of. I know that Josephine of Studio Rose recommends it highly, as many others do. But if there's one which is dispensable, I think it's this. Prada Rossa Black. If you have, like if you're just trying to decide which one to get, this one is what you should not get, because once you get to the base, it gets to be kind of generic and boring. This one is it's the one that I would least recommend. As for the remaining four, they really are all good. If you want a clean edge, go for Prada L'Homme Intense. If you want something interesting, go for Bulgari Black. If you could find a bottle, another interesting one also is Zadig and Voltaire's Just Rock. It has a balsamic edge to the vanilla, which makes it different and unique. And if you want something that is almost gourmand, then go for Male Le Parfum. So thank you for watching. See you again.